It was just a very awkward exchange because here I am. It was our first night, sleeping together. I've got to bolt out of here. She's still in bed, and I was just kind of like, okay, so I'm gonna just leave this $300 on the desk here, and that was really fun last night.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to this week's episode of It Takes Script. I've got a familiar face in the house today, Cory Scott Freeman.
First ever podcast.
First ever podcast that you've ever done.
Palms are a little sweaty.
Yeah. Cory has no idea what's in for him.
No, I don't.
No.
This just got dropped on me. There's zero script.
There's zero script. I have the script because I feel like we should have been doing this podcast a while ago. Yeah, I thought we should do this, and now we seem to have so much time because we're all quarantined because of the coronavirus. I thought, why not make you a little bit hot and sweaty with the fire on and also some questions. So welcome everybody to the It Takes Script podcast. Of course, if you love this podcast, if there's anything in it that you enjoyed, put a smile on your face, or maybe changed your mindset, make sure that you share it with a friend, be a hero in someone else's life, and also give us a review on wherever that you listen to it, YouTube, Spotify, iTunes. Cory, where do you listen to the It Takes Script podcast?
Spotify.
Yeah. What's your favorite episode?
Well, soon to be this one, but we were just talking about your favorite.
Just my podcast.
Probably one of your first ones.
Oh, really? Because that's when you started listening, and now you don't listen anymore.
Well, I have the honor of seeing you every single day, so it's like, I get this stuff on a daily basis. Sometimes I got to switch it up. You got to diversify your podcasts.
So you're basically telling people already to go and listen to another podcast.
No, I wouldn't say that because they don't live with you. We now live together. I mean, we have
four houses right now that we're between.
We've always slept in the same house, but now
I thought you were going to say we've always slept together.
Well, that too.
Because you started saying we move in together. It sounded like you were like, well, we always sleep together.
Yeah.
Oh, that's only birthdays and Christmases. So we thought.
What is sleeping together? That's baloney. Are you allowed to cuss on this podcast?
Yes, you definitely have to swear. Oh, yeah.
Okay. I know. Am I the first? No, you've had a couple men.
Yes, you're not my first.
No, not first. Okay.
You're definitely not the first.
Okay.
There's a lot of men.
A lot of men have just ran through your podcast.
Ran straight through it, hard and fast.
Okay. All right. Okay. So no filter. Gotcha.
No filter. There's been a few people that did get offended by some swearing that I did.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, they did. But we're going to pre-warn you that if you don't like swearing, we might curse. It's not like something that we do. We actually don't really swear that much.
No.
Between the two of us, I don't feel like we do swear.
No, I mean I'd say we're about a 5 out of 10 on that.
Yeah, a few F-bombs, but nothing like crude. It's more like when I've stubbed my toe or something's kind of gone wrong.
The nice thing with you being English, you get away with swearing. It's kind of like, wow, like you just told me off, but I don't feel terrible.
Right, well, I'm going to keep us on track here. So, Cory, do you want to tell everybody, first of all, how old you are, where you live, and what you do for a living, just so they can get a bit of background on you?
Yeah. Do I look at you? Do I look at you?
You look at me.
Okay.
Make it short,
Yeah, perfect.
Look at me.
Okay, perfect. Cory, I'm 33 years old, which is my lucky number. I live right here in Newport Beach, California. Just recently moved in full-time with Rebecca.
It's been about a week.
Okay. Well, yes.
It's been about a week, so this is still new.
Still new. And it's going great. And then I work as a firefighter paramedic. I've been doing that for about 10 years.
Okay.
And
yeah, so we're going to touch on that as well because obviously Cory is at the forefront of everything that's happening in the coronavirus. So I've had a couple of questions from you guys to ask Cory. So we'll be going through that as well as talking about our blissful relationship. Okay, so first question. How did we meet? Do you want to tell the story of how we met and what actually happened on our first date and what I ordered?
Yeah, I'd love that. So it was about 3.5 years ago. We were both on Tinder at the time, doing our little swiping. And so, I had quite a few conversations with other people on there. And a lot of times, like, you get way into these conversations, and you know, before you know it, you could message back and forth with someone for a week, 2 weeks, and it leads to nowhere, and it was like super frustrating. So when I first, you know, when Rebecca and I first swipe right on each other, I think we exchanged maybe 6 sentences, and she was very straightforward. Like you could tell she was just, you know, she's got a business mindset and didn't want to waste time. And, you know, after the quick couple sentences, it was like, hey, I'm free Monday at 6. 4. At 4. You know, let's make it happen. And I was just like, okay, great.
You don't want to meet someone in the dark, and 6 is like pushing it a little bit. So
true.
I was like, let's do a 4 o'clock meeting.
So it was great. It was like no BS. Like, let's just meet this. Let's take this offline and, you know, make it happen. So I invited her over to my house. I live
A little bit forward though. That is a bit forward. I mean, I don't know about a first date, if that is a good idea for everybody to go to their house. But I think because it was 4 o'clock in the afternoon, you had suggested that we were going to take bikes down to the seafront, like and like I think but I don't think it's wise to go and meet somebody at their house for the first time that you meet on Tinder. I think that's an important message that I do want to put out. But we did have a mutual person. So on the Friday night when I was messaging you on Tinder, like 6 messages, I think between the two of us, I happened to be at the Orange County Fair. And the people I was with were firefighters, and they knew your family. So they kind of did validate you before. So that's why I just turned up to somebody's house. Like, I don't think I would have gone to somebody's house had I have just been like, whatever.
So like use some common sense here. If you got like a mutual friend or something that can validate like, hey, they're good, they're not a serial killer, like, okay, that's, you know, take that into consideration. But if you're going in completely blind with, you know, someone who's catfishing you or something, like, that's
yeah, you want to be careful of that. So so I also asked if I could bring Alfie, because you suggested we were going to take bikes down to like this place called Pacific City, which is in Huntington Beach. And so I brought Alfie. He's not, I don't even know where he is right now, but he's not here.
Yeah. So like I said, was that like a little test?
It was a test. I mean, if you've got to meet Alfie, like everybody knows who Alfie is. He's very important. What did you think when I was like, hey, I want to bring my dog? What was your first initial reaction?
I mean, I think I knew, you know, this girl that is so attached to her dog, like most single girls that have dogs, it's like their world. So it's like, if I were to...
No, but what was your initial reaction? Obviously, you said yes and he came, but were you like, oh, I'm not sure about this? Was that a red flag for you?
Well, I mean, I was like,
Honestly.
I was like, what kind of dog is it? And you're like, he's a Chihuahua. And I was like, oh God.
Like, oh fuck.
Okay, like I've always had bigger dogs, and I've been that guy who's always kind of made fun of the boyfriend walking his girlfriend's like small dogs down the street and be like, oh, look at that guy. So when she initially was like, oh, I've got a small dog, I think I had that vision. I'm like, oh my gosh, like I'm gonna be that guy walking the little tiny Chihuahua, and lo and behold, I am. And now people drive by and they give me the look I used to give them, and I'm like, yeah, I get it.
So first of all, when you looked at my profile, you knew that I had an Instagram following.
Oh yeah.
You knew me. You knew of me.
Well, no, I think you linked it to your Tinder, so you know I had to do my due diligence and go on there. And I think at the time you had.
Were you like, oh, this is cool?
I mean, it's not a negative. I was like, shit. She's like, you know, she's hustling. She's, you know, you had all your stuff, your fitness stuff. I mean, yeah, it was. You know, it's definitely a bonus. Like, there's no doubt about that.
So then I arrived, and actually, when I first met Cory, I had pink hair. The ends of my hair was pink. We were talking about that last night.
Yeah.
Now, I don't really feel like that represents my personality, like to exactly a T. Now, I like to be creative. I was actually thinking about dyeing my hair pink again, but then Cory told me that I was too old to do it.
It's like, that's something you do in your 20s. You're 31 now. Pink hair.
I'm about to be 32.
Yeah. No, you could pull it off. Like, you would do well, but it's like sometimes, like, I don't know. I mean, sometimes when you start like dyeing your hair, when you get like older, you start to be that like kooky old lady who's got pink hair.
Okay. So anyway, so I did turn up with the pink hair. With the pink hair. So what did you think immediately when you were like, oh, she's got pink hair?
Well, I think I already knew it because I saw your Instagram, so I was ready for it.
Right. Okay.
I was actually, I was kind of ready for all this. I mentally prepared myself for it, but it was like, I mean, it's pink hair. It's like, it's temporary. Like, you know, first date, put your smiley face on, be like, oh, I love your pink hair. And like, things can change. I'm just kidding.
Such a dick. Oh, so anyway, so we go on bikes, we go down to Pacific City, we go to a place called Ways and Means. Yeah. And for some reason, and I've never done this since, I don't know if I was confused or nervous, but I looked at well, first of all, Cory asked for the happy hour menu, and that was like a red flag for me, because I was like, dude, like, you don't ask for like the budget discount stuff on like date number one. Like, let a girl have what she wants. And the only thing that was on that happy hour menu was a gin martini. So that's why I had it. Like, I don't think I thought martini and what I actually got was what I wanted. Like, I don't like gin martinis, but 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I order a gin martini. What was your first reaction to that?
Oh, I was a little surprised. Well, I think I first ordered I didn't even know, you know, if you drank or what you did. So I think I ordered I was like, I'll get a beer. And then, you know, the server looks at you and it's like, what do you want? She's like, oh, I'll take a gin martini. I'm like, holy mackerel. Like, it's 4 o'clock on a Monday. Like,
which is interesting, because still to this day, you still order your drinks before me, which is very ungentlemanlike. So actually, you did it straight on date one.
Well,
first of all, he asked me for the... No, I would have never been into... No.
Do you recall?
Maybe I just made that up. I knew you were going to say something as I was talking about that.
What?
That you were going to bring something up about me ordering first, because I said it just... Yeah, I was like, oh gosh, I'm going to get nailed on this.
Yeah, well, Cory always does. He always goes, I'll have, and never actually says to me, oh, what would the lady like? We're still working on it. 3.5 years later, I bought him a couple of books about manners. He is a work in progress. I feel that there's more potential in there, but we're still working on it. So there is a timeline. He's on a 7-day trial right now. So first impressions when you met me. Obviously, I've got pink hair. I order a gin martini at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I've got a dog who's a Chihuahua. I've got this online presence. Like, what was your first? Because we kissed on that first date, and I did leave. But what was your first impression when you woke up the next morning? Like, what were you thinking? Were you like, oh, this is a good... I've never asked these questions before, by the way, so you guys are actually finding out this before.
This is good. Good conversation.
Yeah, good conversation. What did you think? What do you think about the future? What do you think about this girl right now? What was your initial reaction?
After night one?
Yeah.
I was like, I'd like to go on a second date.
Wow. Just blew me away there. God, I just feel so special.
No, it was good. Yeah, like, I mean, there was...
Amazing. Look at this. I'm just being flourished.
Yeah, no, I was like, second date sounds fantastic.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
And then
I mean, you know, like, I've never been the type to, like, I'm just not the, you know, fairy tale romantic, like, you know, oh my gosh, like, this is it, I'm for the rest of my life. Like, I'm like, that's saying a lot. Like, wow, like, hey.
Oh, wow, thank you so much. It makes me feel so special. Not just another notch on a bedpost. Yeah. Okay, so then the Wednesday, we went paddleboarding. Yeah. We took Alfie again.
Yes.
Alfie came paddleboarding with us. And then that Friday, this is a funny story, we both happened to be going to Vegas.
Yes.
And you were there for a bachelor party.
Yeah.
I was there on a girls' trip. And we went out on the Friday night. We went to a club. We were both a little bit pickled. And then we started playing craps.
Craps.
Yes. And we both put in $100. And we said, whatever
Just
we win,
dice, if you guys know what craps
dice,
is.
Gambling,
Yeah.
whatever. I remember burning my mouth on a chicken nugget. That was really hot.
Well, that's what you remembered from the whole weekend.
That's what I remember. That was the most memorable moment, was the burning of the mouth on the chicken nugget. Anyway, that night we won $600.
We did.
We did. And so that was the first time that Cory stayed over. That's our first sleeper.
A week, yeah. Our first overnight.
Overnight. That was our first overnight. And then Cory left in the morning because you had to go to the bachelor party.
Yeah, I had to be back to a pool party at like 11 in the morning, and we probably woke up at, 9:45?
9:45, you leave, I'm still in bed. He turns around to me, and we've obviously won this money. Now all the money was in Cory's pocket. So how did you...
Well, yeah, so, I mean, I woke up and I reached in my pocket. I'm like, oh my gosh, I got $600 in here. And the night before we said, you know, whatever money we put in, we're going to split. So 300 of that was Rebecca's. So it was just a very awkward exchange, because here I am. It was our first night, you know, sleeping together. I've got to bolt out of here. She's still in bed, and I was just kind of like, okay, so I'm gonna just leave this $300 on the desk here, and that was really fun last night, and I'll see you later.
And I was thinking, can I get another $300 tonight? Because that was pretty easy.
Yeah. So it was a bit of an exchange
Of money. Yeah. So that was.
like that?
I did like it. I have to bring this up though. I've never got $300 again since that moment. Not once again has Cory given me $300 for a romantic night, passionate extravaganza.
I think that's illegal. That's an exchange of sex for money.
It's only illegal in some states.
Is it?
Well, you could give me gifts.
I don't know
I'm fine. I could wake up. There could be a Chanel bag. There could be some Louis Vuitton shoes. I'm fine with that.
Exchanging sex for material objects.
Well, I've got to get something out of it.
Oh my gosh.
All right. So, what is it like dating somebody on social media that is in the public eye? What did you first thought when you started dating? Were you like, because you didn't want to be posted? Well, actually, you didn't.
I wanted to be behind the scenes. I didn't want to be.
Well, he wanted to be behind the scenes first because he had a bit of a crossover with me and another girl, so he couldn't be completely online because you didn't want to tell the other girl that he had a girlfriend. So we had to keep that on the down low for a couple of months. But then you did post me on your Instagram.
Yes.
I did get a post. I became the girlfriend, that first post that you posted in Cozumel. And but how was it? Why didn't you want to be in front of the camera? Because now you can't get your face out of the fucking front of the camera.
Here we are. I don't know. I think I was just more of a private person, and I just kind of like to keep things to my own. I just didn't like putting it out there for the world to see.
Yeah, but when you were dating me, and you're dating, because have you dated anybody before that's been in the public eye?
Not to your level, no.
Right. So what was that like for you? Was that unknown? Were you nervous about it? What did you feel? Or were you like, this is cool? My girlfriend's really fucking cool. And I am punching. You're like, I am punching above my weight right now.
No, I never thought that.
I think a lot of people do.
No, for you or for me?
You're punching above your weight.
Who said that?
I've got
You say, oh, do you really?
Yeah.
I haven't seen that poll yet.
I'll show it to you afterwards. I'm joking. Tell me, what is it like?
It's fun. It's exciting. I mean, are you talking about dating, like just dating you? Is it?
Yeah, dating me at the beginning. What was your first thoughts with dating somebody who was in the public eye?
I mean, it's exciting and it's kind of like new and different. And I mean, I think there's some things I did like. I think there's some things I didn't like. I mean, I think like the variety.
I like the free vacations. That's what.
Yeah, like the variety of things was cool. You know, just because you get a lot of opportunities that come across, you know, your plate as far as, you know, getting to go stay in hotels up in LA or going on vacations or, you know, getting different brand deals. And like, it's so different from that, you know, typical 9 to 5 where it's like, hey, I go to work and come home and that's that. So there was that, but then at the same time, like, yeah, sometimes it being in, you know, putting a little bit more of your life out there was a little bit nerve-wracking. I think at first I thought it was like overboard, but then the more I start to see like you would put things out there for the world, not so much as to just say like, hey, this is my life, check it out. But like, if there's always like teaching points there's teachable moments, there's learning points in it. So it's like, okay, like there is a reason to put this out. It's not just like I'm just documenting just to document.
Right, it's providing value rather than just like, hey, look at me.
Yeah. So once you kind of like, you know, look at it from that point, it's.
So now what's it like? Now you're just like all out. No.
Now it's just, you know, 3.5 years later, it's look at me in front of the camera. I'm just kidding. I guess it's just become
the norm.
Part of life.
Yeah, it is part of life.
Yeah.
Quick question: what's your favorite dog, Alfie or Penny?
Penny.
You're gonna get a lot of hate for that.
Well, I mean, I take a little bit more ownership in Penny. Granted, I didn't really even want her from the beginning. Cover your ears, Penny. But I've been here since day one. Alfie has a lot of weird things he does, and I can't take full responsibility for that. So if Penny has some weird quirks, it's like, hey, that's on me.
That's on you.
Yeah.
Yep.
So.
Well, now you live with two little dogs. Who would have thought not only are you walking them, you're now living with them?
Yes.
So our living situation, guys, is that Cory owned a house in Huntington Beach that I had my office in for a little bit. He rented out 3 of the rooms downstairs, but I never moved in there. I then had my apartment in Huntington Beach as well that I've just sold. So it's basically selling right now. That's why I say we've got 4 properties. But then I moved in here a couple of months ago, and I had an office in here too, but then we started putting everybody remotely. Then Cory bought another house in Huntington, a month ago?
A month ago.
And is now going to be, he re-renovated that, renting that one out, renting out the first one. And so it was like, I don't have my office in here. I've just sold my other place, so why don't you move in here? So we're on a probation period. We basically have lived together though for the whole time. It's just that your stuff hasn't been cluttering up my whole fucking house and leaving shit everywhere. But
it's just a 4-bedroom house, and like I get like one little corner to.
Well, you came in at the end. You came in at the end. You
just have a lot of shit for a single female. Yeah. Like you should see it. Like boxes arrive on the front porch every day, and it's like there's constantly stuff coming in, but not a lot of stuff goes out.
Well, you can go out. That's fine. We can transfer you out.
Yes, I can.
If I have to choose.
Maybe we should build me a little clubhouse in the backyard.
Yeah, you could, we could build you a little shed. No problem. Yeah, I mean, we have the workout set here. We have like our in-house office stuff that we film loads of stuff. So I love this place. And now you get to enjoy it as well. Rent-free right now. Just styling. Just out here cruising through life. Cory's styling. No, he will pay me rent eventually.
Eventually. Once I rent out my other house.
Once you rent out the other place. So we're in the middle of the coronavirus. We can talk about the firefighting. Like right now, I mean, your schedule is still the same. You're not doing any more work than normal. You're not seeing, I mean, we might be having a very different conversation in like a week or 2 weeks time. But right now, you're not seeing anything that different. And I just want to tell people at home from like the front what is going on. I mean, tell us what's happening from your end.
Yeah, I mean, here in Southern California, it hasn't really hit like it has in either other parts of the United States or other parts of the world. So, I mean, we're definitely more prepared now, you know, having all these different protocols in place where if we run on certain patients with certain symptoms or, you know, recent travel history, et cetera, then we're prepared to treat them. But it hasn't hit here yet, and it's a little concerning to me. I mean, we were out yesterday, and I mean, people are still kind of, I mean, we're under pretty strict order to quarantine aside from essential services and stuff. Which we're doing, yeah. And you still see, we were out driving yesterday, and you know, you see a lot of people still out and about. And I don't think it hasn't fully hit here, so people don't understand the significance of those orders. But as far as emergency medicine, it's been pretty slow right now, because I think what's happening is a lot of people that, you know, say you fall and hurt yourself, or you have something medical that you want to call 911. People are hesitant to go to the hospital, whereas normal, like they might say, oh yeah, let's just take me to the hospital and, you know, they'll make me feel better. But now people are kind of second guessing whether the hospital is the right place for them to go for a symptom or an injury that's kind of on the fence. So,
right, that's not an emergency. It's like, hey, I sprained my ankle.
Yes.
It's like, do I need to have to go to hospital because I could get the coronavirus if I go?
Exactly.
So Cory's job, everybody, because I know that firefighters are different around the world. Cory, here in Newport Beach, the firemen are basically, if you think of like a paramedic or like your first responder, someone who's going to put somebody in an ambulance, he does that job and the fires as well. So say if somebody has a heart attack, or there's a car accident, or, you know, somebody has taken an overdose, or somebody's got flu symptoms, or an old person's fallen over, Cory's going to be the first person there. And you were telling me yesterday that instead of the whole crew going in, you have one person go in first and see what their symptoms are, and then you're letting everybody else come in if it's safe.
Yes.
So there are some extra precautions that you're taking.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we've got, like I said, we have a lot of protocols that have gone into effect, but, you know, with the whole social distancing, I mean, this is spreading from, you know, people in close proximity to each other. So if someone calls in their house, like and we're suspecting, you know, that they have the symptoms or the recent travel and stuff like that, I'm gonna put on my full equipment, you know, goggles, gloves, mask, gown, all this stuff, leave my crew outside, and I will be the only person that goes into the house. And, you know, from there you just gotta assess what's going on.
And are they giving you more masks and different masks to wear? Are you using, like, you're not in full gear, right? You're not in those spacesuit type stuff.
Not a spacesuit,
no.
I don't have those.
Do you think would you ever?
I mean, the way things are going, probably not. I mean, I think it's in low supply, and I think that nurses that are spending hours around these patients are the ones that need that stuff. Okay. Yeah, so
right now, you've actually been a little bit slower because people are not always calling 911 because they're not sure if they want to go into hospital. But you guys are super prepared for everything that's going to come.
Yeah, it's been a weird like kind of lull in calls. Calls do take a lot longer right now just because there's so many precautions, and it's like, hey, like, let's make sure we're doing everything to not expose ourselves. But I feel like the wave is coming. So it's like,
maybe we'll do this again another 2 weeks and see. We'll grill Cory and then find out.
Yeah, I know. And I'm going to be, how is it living with someone that's going to be?
Well, we haven't rented out your second place yet. So
what's our plan if we need
You're in the garage.
Okay, you didn't tell me that.
Well, that's the plan. You're in the garage with all your shit. No, I'm saying, if you do get it, we haven't rented out your second place yet. That could be I mean, I know there's no furniture in there or no supplies, but we need to keep me, Alfie, and Penny safe. So you would go to...
So you're going to quarantine me to a house that has no furniture, no refrigerator, no...
I think that's the safest thing to do. I mean, don't you want to protect your family?
Oh my gosh, that's so morbid.
Yeah, well, you know, we're in morbid times. Talking about morbid times, dating in the coronavirus. Could you... I mean, Tinder and Bumble and all of those other apps, they're going to be down. Guys, don't date right now, right? Isn't this is the time to work on yourself.
I wouldn't cut off all dating. I actually have, I just thought of this, and maybe...
Oh, God. He hasn't told me about this, so it could be fucking terrible. The chances are... What did you came up with a terrible idea the other day, though.
What was my terrible idea?
I've got a list of them on my phone. Keep going. What's your amazing idea for people dating?
Okay, think about it. So, Tinder has this reputation of, or all the dating apps reputation. It's like, oh, it's a hookup.
Yeah, I got $300 for mine.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, I guess we hooked up on the first one, made out.
Made out. We didn't.
That's hook up, right?
Oh, I don't know. There's different terminologies. We didn't have sex on the first date. Let's just put that out there. Yeah.
So no, hear me out on this one. So these apps are typically thought of like hookup sites and stuff right now. So it's like, you can't just cut off all dating. People want to meet each other, meet new people. Maybe this is a time to, like, you're actually going to meet with someone and connect with someone. Like, maybe you have like a virtual coffee or something like that.
But they should be meeting in real life, though.
No, because that's yeah, not date. Yeah.
Not dating in real life, but you're saying you can still date by having like you're saying like FaceTime.
Yeah, you do like a virtual coffee or something like that. Then you're, if you're worried about a creeper or something, then you're kind of protecting yourself because you have distance. And then it's actually probably going to be built more on conversation and connection because there's not going to be any hookup related to it. So, some guy or girl might not put on their best face just trying to get in your pants. It's kind of like maybe it's actually a better time. I'm looking.
Yeah, no, I like that too, because if you think about it, the Netflix series Love is Blind, which absolutely blew up on Netflix, is all about connection. And although they couldn't see each other, they built things on conversation and a really deep, meaningful connection between two people. So it's like date now, but like have conversations with people. And if you don't want to date right now, and you don't want to do the phone call stuff, like work on yourself, like become the best version of you so that you attract somebody else that's even, that's really the level of standard that you want from somebody else.
Yes.
Yeah.
100%.
So we think virtual dating. We should like set up a speed date. Ooh, like can you imagine if we can create like a speed dating virtual speed dating? Virtual speed dating.
That's a great idea.
We've already TM'd that, trademarked.
So yeah, we were in Mexico and in Puerto Vallarta. I was filming Rebecca's workouts and kind of thought to myself, we're already traveling around the world to these amazing places. I like to work out. I'm in pretty decent shape. I feel like I have somewhat of a decent personality. So I kind of told her, I was like, hey, when you're done filming, what do you think we swap places and I get in there and
what was my reaction?
Oh, you were all about it.
I jumped up on you and swung my legs around you and was like, oh my God, yes, you have to do it. I mean, what a cheerleader.
Yeah, you were all
Can
about
you imagine if you did that to me when I tell you some good news? This is Cory's reaction. When I tell him something, he's like, that's cool. That's cool.
Always the
okay.
reaction.
I mean, how much more do you really give me?
I'm cool. I'm like a cool cucumber.
You really are. Just like Cory's like even killed. He never gets up here and never goes down
Rebecca's,
here. He's just on a line. Yeah, exciting.
Rebecca's like a roller coaster, and I'm just kind of like the
log ride, the log flume.
the log ride, just cruising.
You are the log flume.
The log flume.
You know, like no, it's not even that. It's the one that goes round when you're at a
like
water park. No, the water park when you just float.
Okay,
that's
I guess
you.
The merry-go-round still goes up.
You're just a floating in a tube. You know, like the circle things. Yeah, just
good. It's a good balance for
floating around. Right, so then you got inspired to do that.
Yes.
You also done some health coaching as well that we worked together on. And what other things are you interested in? Because you kind of dabble, you put your toes into things.
Dabbler.
He's a dibble dabbler. Yeah. But now you're into like real estate. Now you've just bought your second place.
Okay.
And then how have you enjoyed renting that out? Like
it's
doing it up?
I mean, I'm kind of like a jack of all trades, ace of none.
Yeah.
You know, it's like
you don't really have any really good skills.
I'm good at a lot of different things, but like to say that this is my thing that I'm amazing. I'm a great firefighter paramedic. I love that. That's my passion. But outside of that, it's like I'm just kind of good at a lot of different things. So yeah, renovating a new house has been fun. Cory Scott Fitness filming workout videos. I've been enjoying that. Doing the health coaching, like where I'm gonna like put all that focus in. That's to be seen.
See, you just don't know. So what's the future between you and I?
It's bright. It's very bright.
Can I get any more clarification? I ask Cory this all the time. I'm about to hit 32. Cory's never once told me, I'm excited to marry you. I'm excited to be engaged with you. I can't wait to have kids with you. I can't wait to move in together. Like, it was just circumstance where we've been fucking moving in together. Bullshit. Bullshit. When I was talking at the Tony Robbins event, I was talking about having children. I've said that a couple of times. You've never said anything. So apart from the future being
most
right.
Comments about having children are, God, I cannot have a kid right now.
No, I've also said yes. But tell everybody where you see your life in the next 3 to 5 years. What does it look like for Cory and his...
And my what?
What does it look like for Cory?
It looks really nice. Things are looking up. No, next 5 years.
Yeah.
So that'll put me at 38. Good God. By 38, 2 kids, bigger house. You'll be there too, of course.
So you never add me into this.
You
don't start it off with me though. You don't go, well, I'm really excited about our future together because this is going to be. You're like, well, Cory, I will be 38. I'll have 2 children and I'll have a bigger house.
You're referring the question to I, and then you want me to say we. So I can't read your mind.
No, but then you put in the end, oh yeah, with you too.
Well, that's implied.
Okay, like, they never assume.
Yeah, I'm gonna have
Tony Robbins says, never assume.
Exactly. Yeah,
that sounds rosy. I'm so excited about that. I mean, I don't know which girl's going to get that life with you, but she should be fired up right now. All right, so one last question that somebody had for us was, who does all the cooking in the house? Well, you guys know.
Moi.
That is Cory. Cory is the one that keeps us fed, so you do all of the cooking. Tell everybody the recipe you did this morning for the waffles, because they were really good.
Ooh, the protein waffles?
Yeah, we did some protein waffles this morning.
Super simple, actually. It was, depending, down and dirty, for like 1 waffle, it was half a banana, 2 scoops of your protein of choice, like just, some powdered protein, and then 1 egg, and then I added a little extra stuff, a little vanilla,
Oh.
A little vanilla extract, a little cinnamon.
Got a bit creative.
A little bit of salt. Yeah.
Very nice.
And just boom, mix it up, put it in the waffle iron, and
boom.
Good to go.
That was our breakfast this morning. So to end this beautiful episode together, obviously we're in the coronavirus right now. How can we all stay positive and united and not create diversions? Because we want to keep all of ages together. We want to keep races together. We want to keep countries together, the world together. What's your best advice, Cory Scott Fitness, for making us all unite and become stronger through this coronavirus?
Well, I think the thing is right now is we are all united, because never in history have we all been fighting for a common cause. Our common cause right now is you're not gonna win a battle against coronavirus, but you're gonna flatten the curve of the actual infections and, in turn save a lot of lives. So I think you need to look from it from that standpoint, that we are in this all together. Because there could be a lot of things that you could look at to divide people right now, whether it's, different socioeconomic status and all that stuff, but know that at the end of the day, we all have the common goal right now. And, I think one thing that I've been doing that's helped is just reaching out. You could reach out to anyone in the world, whether you have a friend from, on Facebook that's in another country, and everyone's speaking the same language right now. It's kind of like, hey, how's it affecting you and stuff. So what's awesome right now is you can reach out to anyone and have that conversation. It's actually almost an excuse to reconnect with people, and I've been doing that. And then, whatever value that you have that you can offer them, and it could be something as simple as just shedding a silver lining on their situation, and vice versa. Or if you have something more, like we've been doing live workouts with people around the world, to be able to offer that, it's really a way to bring people together. So just reach out and let people know that you care. And people are in different situations where, maybe they have family that's been affected, maybe they've lost their jobs, whatever. So just letting people know that you're there and you're speaking the same language, you're there to help, is just and if we all do that, we're going to come out of it the other side.
Yeah.
I think so much stronger.
And connected. Yeah.
Than we were.
If it hadn't happened.
Yeah.
I agree. Well, how do you feel after you've done your very first podcast?
Great.
It's all your very first with me, isn't it? But I wasn't your first. But I wasn't your first British girl. There's a lot for us. Well, you weren't my first American, so
yeah, exactly.
We're even on that one.
Yeah, no, that's good. I'm ready for just
more.
Everyone to just pour in with. I feel like I'm gonna get all these invites for podcasts now.
Well, guys, you can go and follow Cory on Instagram if you want more of his incredible knowledge, updates on the fire department and what they are doing to keep the world healthy. Thanks for joining me, Cory. And make sure you guys go check out It Takes Grit podcast. Give us a shout out too. Maybe just take a screenshot of this or post that you guys are listening to it and hashtag It Takes Grit podcast. And of course, tag the Instagram handle as well. It Takes Grit podcast. Thanks, guys. Have a great rest of your day and we'll see you next week. Bye. It's just that there's mass panic and people going out and, getting all the toilet rolls and, people grabbing all the food and stuff. When one person starts to panic, everybody does it too.